And on top of that, I wasn't too impressed with the monsters. They weren't very appealing to me. I said I liked their uniformity, but they got to be too similar, you know? Like one looks like a gorilla, but he's a dino gorilla, get it? My favorite was, by far, the crocodile creature that could spit acid and had a scorpion tail and sprouts wings. It was like three monsters in one. Actually, it was literally two monsters in one, as it was later revealed to be pregnant, and its baby springs out and starts eating people. Why wasn't there more of that? I also noticed that this monster seems to be the main marketing focus of the film. I like the giant crab in it, mostly because it was a reference to the Godzilla series, and in the opening scene there's briefly one that looks like a skeleton. I mean, the others were kinda cool, but were mostly gimmicky. One was like a gorilla, and he didn't even climb on top of a building. Yeah, he had that EMP thing, but it wasn't that badass. There was a shark monster that looked so little like a shark I find it unappealing. One was like a bull, I don't have to tell you what it was full of, and there was supposed to be a super badass final boss monster that put the others to shame. Yeah, he sucked. What was so special about him? He had 3 tails? The other one had a freaking claw tail. Why couldn't he shoot lasers out of his eyes, or have 2 heads, or 3, or open up his chest and use his whole body as, like, a mouth or something? Anything. I mean, this is their ultimate monster. Even if they didn't want to give the monsters a lot of unique abilities, they could have had some more variety, like giant spiders, or something with tentacles, or something so utterly alien it defies description. And it's all CG anyway, so don't give me limitations of technology crap. This was a chance to really flex their imagination skills, and I think they just blew it. The robots were pretty cool. I guess all the creative energy went into them, seeing as they were the heroes. Oh, I see how it is. It's all about the good guys, ain't it? My only problem is there were so few of them, and they got killed so easily. If the monsters had more going on, I would have understood, but that's what destroyed these hardcore robots? No wonder they were losing the war. Another big thing is the plot. It sucks. I mean, the plot really makes no sense at all. And don't give me that dumb fun crap. Dumb fun implies a plot that is at least consistent and makes sense, not being random things the filmmakers make up as they go along. I hate to be CinemaSins here, but one of the big things I don't like is the hole on the bottom of the sea. The aliens can only open a rift down in the Challenger Trench to begin their invasion. Why do you need big-ass robots if all you need to do is set up a guard post along the bottom? Surely they had the technology for that. And the aliens are only sending up one monster at a time, and they know where it is? Why do you even let it get to the shore? I guess they just wanted to watch them fight each other.
Let them fight.
Once they destroy the portal, why can't the aliens just reopen it? Why can't they open more than one? They don't know what the damn things are capable of, and neither do we. They can't get through the portal because the portal has to read the DNA of the monsters, and they only find out about this in the last 5 minutes of the movie. I think it stands to reason. If you can't get through the portal, maybe there's something in the monsters that allows them to get through. Why don't you just shove a nuke up a kaiju corpse's ass and send it back through? I remember coming to that conclusion in the theater before they did, and felt insulted when they had to risk their lives to figure it out. I think a better way of doing the portal would have been to have the portal open up at random places around the world, and they unleash the monsters directly into the cities, thus creating the need for lots of Jaegers and to have to be ready to go and can get to the scene quickly. Hell, you can even have them unleash them at stupid places, like atop Mount Everest, and they could freeze to death or something. Another thing is that god-awful plan the government comes up with at the beginning to stop the monsters, using a wall. These are monsters that are created to run around and destroy buildings, and you're going to stop them with a building? I get that they're making fun of government and calling politicians delusional idiots who don't understand the problems they're dealing with, but no one's that stupid. Is this what people really think of their leaders? That they're just horses' asses like the Roman Senate was to Caligula? And again, the pacing is atrocious. It starts with a 5-minute summary with a lot of backstory, followed by a pretty cool action scene, followed by about 40 minutes of a lot of talking, followed by 30 minutes of unrelenting CGI beat-em-ups. And then it ends. This is what's known as lazy writing. You gotta pace it out, man. You can't just lump everything together. Even the action, you gotta let people cool their jets. I also don't like how they kill the kid Hotshot at the end. I thought the father should have been the one who dies, along with Idris Elba, symbolizing the end of their era and making the kid appreciate life more. Oh, but it's just dumb fun, right? Instead, we get a guy who has to deal with the traumatic loss of his son in the name of a cause he's not sure he completely supports anymore. Hooray. It also annoys me how inconsistent the pseudoscience is in the film. They say they need human twins to perform the mind meld thing for the robots, but random people just do it. I get that the main hero and the girl are supposed to be training for it, but why can the kid and the black guy do it? I guess they melded before. It's a small thing, but it bugs me. Also, there's a lot of just small moments that could have been done better. Like this here, where he executes the monster.
This guy's dead, but let's check for a pulse.
Okay.
No pulse.
He could have reached in and grabbed hold of the monster's beating heart and ripped it out, squeezing it in his metal hands. Nothing too insane, by my taste, really happens. They don't gouge the monster's eyes out, or cut their heads off and watch them run around, or rip their arms off and beat them to death with them. There's no real strategy to beating the monsters. They just wail on them until they fall down, or use their magic predator guns. There are moments of this, like when he uses an oil tanker as a baseball bat, or he shoves this monster's face in a thermal vent. That's cool. Why isn't there more of that? I mean, it's Pacific Rim, right? Like the volcano chain. Why don't they drown a monster in lava or something? And lastly, I wanted to come to the characters. I hate them and they all suck. I mean, they're okay. They're the bare minimum of characters, but they mostly annoy me. I said I liked the Newt character and Hannibal Chow, but they're ultimately side characters to our main hero. The main character, I can't remember his name, is this whiny pussy who mopes around for the entire movie. He's all upset because his brother was killed by a giant monster, and we're supposed to feel bad for him, but I don't. This is a trend I noticed in most Hollywood movies, about these angry, angsty heroes who complain about having to save the world. You know what? You get up every day and drive a giant robot and punch giant monsters in the face. I don't want to hear it. Now, I get that it's supposed to be about his journey from cynicism to embracing heroism, but his journey sucks. One minute he's sad and mopey, and the next he's giddy and ready to go. No build-up, no transition, no nothing. For all the long, drawn-out talking scenes, you'd think they might have developed him a little better, but he's a poorly written, boring character who just isn't interesting. Then there's the Japanese girl whose family was killed by the monsters, and she wants to prove herself as a robot pilot. Okay, at least she's got a decent arc and a backstory, and this is kind of the inverse of the main hero, but she still comes off as mostly flat and uninspired. I think if she was made the main character, she would have been developed better and the movie would suffer less for it. Also, there's Idris Elba's military leader. He's okay, a cliche hard-ass who has to inspire everybody. They were right to cast Elba because he's a good actor. A half-assed performance would have sunk the movie even further. I would make a joke about how he's almost robotic in nature, but isn't he supposed to be a robot pilot? Well, they got me there. There was also this guy, the old-school foil to the Newt character. Their relationship was cute at best. They were also the father and son team from Australia, with the son being a full-of-himself jock who got off on putting others down. Why? Why was this character necessary? Is it because he gets killed at the end? I'll let him blow himself up. Okay, so that's it. I know this is a lot of complaining and nitpicking, and some of it's just to be funny, but I'm sick of this excuse that this movie is just dumb fun. I attribute a lot of the film's success to the fact that it was different from everything else that came out around it. The same summer, we had the third Iron Man film, the second of the Star Trek rebooted franchise, a Superman reboot, a sequel to an animated film, a movie whose title was pronounced The Lone Ranger. I don't know what it's about, though, and a sequel to an Adam Sandler film that ripped off other Adam Sandler films. It's not just Pacific Rim. I've noticed this trend with people saying moderately okay movies are good when they're really not, mostly because they're different from the oodles and oodles of shit that's being released. Why do we limit ourselves to simply liking dumb fun? Why can't movies be both popularly entertaining as well as smart and meaningful? You can have spectacular action scenes coupled with powerful humanistic themes that resonate with people. You'd be surprised what you can find if you just demand a little more of your audience.